And we're back at long last with Darksiders 2. It took me a while to finish up all those silly little side quests. You can't finish any of them really without getting all the Book of Pages quest, which is instantly very worthwhile. That fourth tomb is really an apology for the third one. Ugh. But I've gotten them all done now, so finally I can get on with this. Video game logic dictates that either this is going to be an immediate boss fight or a very, very long puzzle room filled with fights. Root of Corruption. I have an achievement. Didn't really do anything other than walk through a room. I got this Samael one right after this as well. Anything over here? No. Well, there wouldn't be. I finished everything. Pretty. Why do I want to skip this?
Have you ever wondered, Death, why you are untouched, while those around you wither and rot in the grip of corruption?
Well, I'm the player character.
You are already blackened by the sin of betrayal.
Not really.
How can you defeat that which seethes in your own heart?
Well, with science, probably.
You cannot stop me without forever damning your soul!
Maybe he doesn't care. This is really just about violence anyway. Oh, I have the wrong sights on. Let me change that really quickly. I was playing around with the guillotine ones, and they're not very worthwhile. What was it that I had? This one. There we go. Much better. That was very dumb. Missed. Okay, I did something there. Oh, execute. Well, that was fast. Okay. I knew that was too easy. Am I supposed to do anything? I guess not. Okay, this is not going... Hey! Not fair. Oh, we want to block, do we? Missed. Let me show you my new toys. There we go. Hey! What did I get hit with? I missed. Okay, let's try this again. Sort of. Going somewhat better. I shrank him somehow. Camera, that's not very nice when you swing around like that. Wrong way. Grown weak, you're about dead here. Fine, Fraps, you be against me too. This'll finish him off. There he goes. Okay. This is too simple. This has got to be a two-part fight. There goes his arm, I think. Yeah, this is going way too simply. This has got to be a two-part fight. Yeah, roar and scream. You're down to one arm. Okay, splitting open some more. Okay, the game is utterly not cooperating with me at all. Okay, now I see him killing. Thanks for catching up now, Fraps.
Take my hand once more, brother.
I don't think that's a good idea. Dead. Okay, this is way too easy. And that's the end of the game. Well, I was expecting a harder fight than that.
Stop the corruption. I stand at last at
the Well of Soul.
That was way too easy for a last boss.
What I must do next.
It is quite simple, and yet most difficult.
I'm in no humor for riddles, Crowfather.
You really should
have
stop
the
that
power of
instantly.
the well to return the kingdom of man, or you may resurrect the Nephilim. But know that choosing one will forever doom the other.
It's not like he's really been interested in resurrecting Nephilim. It's only been mentioned once or twice. I can tell they're trying to go for a decision here, but the whole game's been pretty much been about saving
To
war,
return
so...
man to the earth will require a sacrifice.
Ah, the plot coupon does something. But it doesn't seem like he really was ever that close to them if he's willing to kill them in the first place. Wonder what his face looks like. Nope, I'm not gonna get to see it. Maybe next game.
Thus from death came life, and the seeds of humanity will be sown. But death's journey was not ended.
I didn't think it would be. There's another game coming eventually.
On the shattered earth, his brother War had slain the destroyer.
One day I will finish that
We
game.
will be hunted. The White City for certain. The Council, and there will be others. You would wage this war alone?
No. Not alone.
War had broken the seventh seal, summoning the horsemen of the apocalypse.
Not really sure for what,
And the number
because
of
pretty much everybody's dead now.
Shall ever be 4.
This is a whole lot shorter than what I thought it was going to be. Wow. I'm kind of caught off guard again. Let's see. To do a review of the game, I do like the mechanics of it. That they really put a lot of thought into it. And, you can really spend a great deal of time, getting a character that you can play really well. Is going to be very different from everyone else. Lots of little stats to fiddle around with. On the mechanical side, it's very, very good. On terms of the story, it's always been Darksiders' weakness. It just doesn't seem to fit very well, and you've got very obvious retcons. In the first game, Nephilim were something that were predated. Everyone were so ancient, no one knew where they came from. This game, it just flat out says, they're much younger than both angels and demons, and that's where they came from. And it seems to be a common, knowledge thing anyway. So it's obvious they didn't expect the first game to be a big success, and now they kind of shoehorned in some backstory just to make it look like they knew what they were doing. Yeah, characterization is also something that needs to be worked on, especially for Death. You get the feeling he doesn't really care about anyone except his immediate family, and then you get him, occasionally doing these quests out of the goodness of his heart, and it doesn't help when, he flat out tells other characters he doesn't care about their problems in the least. Also, it does feel like a very long game, but not a lot of content in it, if that makes any sense. You don't get terribly many abilities. I thought in Darksiders 1 they were just giving out way too many. 2 per dungeon is just far too much. Here, you're pretty much getting 1 per world. Towards the end it picks up, and then it's quite clear the game is just running out. There's only 1 area in Shadow's Edge and 2 in Lost Light. It's just obvious that after Kingdom of the Dead, they just ran out of time and just had to stuff everything in really quickly. Land of the Dead does feel really, really padded out, which is quite odd. If they'd taken some of those meaningless little quests and stuffed them in later in the game, it'd make the game feel a bit more balanced. Where you have to, summon the little champion by grabbing 3 stones, and you get access to the king, and he wants you to go grab 3 people, and one of them wants you to go grab 3 things. It just goes on, and just really tiring. It doesn't help that you don't get anything out of it besides levels out of it. If you're getting different abilities and such, that would help as well. But it pretty clearly ran out of time on that end anyway. They also need to fix up the legendary gear a lot. Some of these things you get very, very late into the game. The stone bites, the guillotine thing. It doesn't seem to be that good. The possessed scythes I had, obviously much better in every way, but I got them much earlier in the game, so they need to, spend a little bit more time. Why is Relic in this game? Okay, whatever. caught me by surprise. This isn't a relic game. Why are they being credited? Where was I? Oh yeah, the legendary gear. Some of it you get in really odd places and just completely worthless when you get it. I remember the Heartstone from the Crucible. You get it by clearing the first 25 waves. By the time you can clear that, you will have gear that gives you a lot more than 100 hit points, and even if you don't, 100 hit points at that point is really just worthless. So you're better off doing pretty much anything with it. You can't, of course, feed it to a possessed weapon. All you can do is just sell it, and like, you don't get that much money for it, and by the time you do start selling off legendary equipment, there's no real point to gold anyway, unless you're just feeding it to a possessed weapon. Possessed weapons really just do the end point of the game. Once you get them, you don't really need anything else. The random number generated gear is also better than the legendaries. In the next game, I hope they go about fixing it, but they'll probably go about changing the mechanics of the game, because Strife is usually depicted as a gunfighter and not melee, so how they do that would be interesting, presuming THQ lives long enough to make that game, but optimism, optimism, optimism. What else to say about the game? I do like that, they tried having different currencies for different merchants. Volgrim in particular, his gear was a bit worthless. I did end up going back and spending more boatman coins just to find out he just sells the possessed arm blades as this top tier gear. He doesn't have anything else. If they went about fixing it, like giving him unique stuff, or non-random generated, just something off a big list that was just simply better and you couldn't find stuff like that, maybe like having 5 or 6 attributes instead of 4, that would help in giving the bowman coins some use. You don't get an achievement for getting all of them, and there's pretty much no point in getting them in the first place. What's his name? The Muppet. I forget his name. He was also another good idea. They really need to distinguish the normal vendors a little bit better, because they all sell pretty much the same gear. I feel like the makers, the Forgelands, or whatever her name was, the blind lady, if she sold very different gear, like magic-oriented gear, and Ostagoth sold like warrior-oriented gear, and you'd have somebody else sell like the rogue-oriented gear to help distinguish them a little bit better, and also give you a reason to go back and buy stuff from them. As it is, they seem to be more or less level locked by area. Ooh. What else to say about the game? I do like the music, and some of the visuals are actually quite pretty. I'm quite happy that they give the game some color, and I'm really tired of just seeing everything in brown or red or rust or muzzle flash. I'm really quite happy they remembered blues and greens and other colors. Kind of running out of things to say here. I'll probably post up a real video review shortly. What's this?
You are alone, Lilith. Where are my Nephilim?
She's gonna die.
Prince,
The end war is upon us. Yet instead of the army you promised me, death has returned man to the balance.
Okay.
I await your punishment.
I have a feeling she's not gonna like this.
Lilith, you will get no pleasure from it.
Uh-oh. She's dead. Nightmare mode unlocked, whatever that happens to be. Current character. Yeah, I've finished all the quests, so I'll go back and fix the scrub I had earlier on Lost Light. I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. I will not, unfortunately, be able to do this anymore for several months. I'll be doing like weekly reviews or just me talking about things in general. I just do not have the time anymore to do Let's Plays. I've got to spend a lot of time studying for getting my teaching degree. I got to build a program as well to prove I know what I'm doing. It'll probably be June, July before I'm able to do any kind of Let's Plays again. I may do like, a couple minutes playing a game I like, but I just don't have the ability or time to do it anymore. Still, I hope you've enjoyed what I've done so far, even though it'll be a long time before I can start up again, so... well, until next time, bye.